StockX is an online marketplace where consumers can buy and sell sneakers, accessories, electronics, and collectibles. The company recently announced a partnership with Walmart and the Detroit Pistons. StockX CEO Scott Cutler just finished a panel with Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev at the company's Hood Summit in Miami. He joins us now. Scott, always great to speak with you. Welcome to the show.
It's really great to be back on.
It's interesting that you're at that conference, and I'm just curious if there's a lot of overlap between traders of stocks and perhaps people who trade on your platform.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually a great overlap because we both serve a very similar customer base, a next generation consumer that think about tradable assets, not only just equities, futures, options, but as we think about it, consumer products. And so the overlap here today at Hood Summit has been really energizing for me.
I want to focus on sneakers for now. I know you sell all sorts of collectibles and accessories, et cetera. But what caught my eye was a resale report that you issued back in August. And it looked like back then you had an inkling, or you knew, it was in the numbers, that the demand for Nike was just not there anymore. And I'm wondering how early you started seeing that coming and what you think the problem is at Nike as somebody who just looks at that marketplace and looks at what consumers want.
So the resale market essentially just represents current supply and demand in the marketplace. And I think, Nike is one example of a shift in market preferences for consumers driven by, on their strategy side, has been frequent restocks, a lot of inventory, and an oversaturation of the market. But on the other side of that, you've also seen the performance and outperformance of publicly traded stocks like Adidas and ASICS and Deckers. That have all actually been outperforming, taking market share from one of the biggest brands in the world.
Are we ever going to look back? Because in the Nike conversation, in terms of Nike's woes, we always talk about the competition that Nike is facing with On and Hoka. Is there demand for that on your marketplace? Are we ever going to look back and say, oh, those Hokas, I found those on StockX?
Yeah, I mean, actually, Hoka, New Balance, On, these have all been some of the fastest growing brands and traded products on the resale marketplace. But I will still say that Nike has incredible strength as one of the biggest brands, doing really well in performance running, doing really well in performance basketball, and I'm not going to bet against them in the long term.
Okay, fair enough. In terms of how many trades, or 50 million plus trades on your platform, which is a staggering number. How does that get impacted by what's going on more broadly in the economy, if at all, or in the stock market for that matter?
So, we're in a 4-year inflationary cycle. We've had interest rates. We've got consumers that have been hit hard. We're obviously a consumer discretionary platform. And so we see all of those macro headwinds that have hit consumers the last couple of years. But I think actually, as we're turning the corner on interest rates, turning the corner on inflation, get past the presidential election, I'm more bullish on consumers and consumer discretionary than certainly we've experienced the last couple of years.